Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to dive right into the invisible math protecting your entire online life. Today, we're looking at exactly how a highly vulnerable digital journey transforms into a high-security armored transport. If you've ever wondered what's actually happening under the hood when you hit connect on a VPN, well, you are in exactly the right place. So let's just picture this for a second. Normally, the internet is just this vast, wildly open public highway. When you send data out there, say logging into your bank or firing off an email, it travels exactly like an exposed postcard. I mean, anyone handling that postcard along the way can literally just flip it over and read it. But a VPN builds a secure tunnel to protect it. And this isn't some physical cable. Actually, scratch that, it's not physical at all. It's a secure conduit constructed entirely out of complex mathematics, totally shielding those digital postcards from prying eyes. To see how this black magic actually works, here's our blueprint. We'll quickly recap the public highway problem and then walk through 4 escalating security phases: checking IDs, the secret handshake, the armored vault, and finally, tamper-proof seals. Then we'll wrap up by looking at the modern VPN blueprint. All right, moving right into section 1, the public highway problem. Let's see why your data desperately needs that armored car in the first place. You know, the core issue here is that the internet is, by design, public infrastructure. Without a VPN, your personal emails, your web searches, your passwords, they're all just sitting out there in the open, on this public highway. They are completely visible to anyone who happens to be watching. We're talking about your internet service provider, the admin of that local coffee shop Wi-Fi you love, and of course, malicious eavesdroppers. You are basically putting blind trust in every single stranger who handles your digital postcard. Crazy, right? So, to fix this mess, our armored transport arrives at the very first mathematical checkpoint, phase 1, checking IDs. We have to establish absolute trust right out of the gate to prevent what's known as a man-in-the-middle attack. Imagine handing your postcard to a guy wearing a mailman's hat, only to find out later he's just a thief in a really good disguise. In the digital world, a hacker intercepts your traffic by tricking your device into believing they're the legitimate server. If you don't check IDs first, you're just handing your sensitive data right to the attacker. And the elegant solution to that exact problem? Asymmetric cryptography. Also known as public key cryptography, this system uses a mathematically linked pair of keys. One is a public key that you share openly with the world, and the other is a private key that is kept heavily guarded. During this phase, the VPN server presents a digital certificate containing its public key. It acts exactly like a totally unforgeable ID badge, mathematically proving to your device that this tunnel is being built to the correct, legitimate destination. Okay, phase 2, the secret handshake. Now that we know exactly who we're talking to, we need to set up the rules of the road. But here is the challenge. Checking IDs using asymmetric math is incredibly secure, but it is way too computationally heavy to encrypt gigabytes of streaming video in real time. It'd just be way too slow. So we need to switch to a faster method. But how on earth do we agree on a new password over a public network where people might still be listening? Well, we use the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. This protocol lets your device and the server safely agree on a fast, shared symmetric key even when communicating over a completely unsecure channel. The math behind this is genuinely like magic. Both sides agree on some public mathematical parameters, mix them with their own secret private keys, and then exchange the resulting public values. Finally, both sides do one last calculation to generate the exact same shared secret. It's kind of like two people shouting base ingredients across a crowded room to bake a cake, right? They mix it with their own secret spices and somehow end up with the exact same final recipe. Eavesdroppers hear all the shouts, sure, but because they don't have those private spices, they can never, ever figure out the final recipe. It's computationally unfeasible to crack. Plus, modern VPNs take this a massive step further with something called perfect forward secrecy. This ensures a brand new, totally unique session key is generated for every single connection. Why does this matter to you? Well, it means that even if a hacker records all your encrypted traffic today and then somehow manages to steal the server's master key tomorrow, they absolutely cannot retroactively decrypt your past data. It's literally like burning the recipe immediately after the cake is baked. No way to go back. All right, moving right along to phase 3, the armored vault. Now that we have our shared secret handshake, we are finally ready to load up. This phase introduces symmetric cryptography. So, unlike the earlier asymmetric phase that used two different keys, this algorithm uses the exact same shared secret key. Yep, the one we just generated with our secret handshake, to both encrypt and decrypt the data. Because both the client and the server possess this exact same key, they can rapidly lock and unlock the vault doors. This is what allows for those high-speed internet browsing speeds we all expect. The primary material constructing this vault is typically AES-256, or the Advanced Encryption Standard. It's a block cipher that takes your standard readable data packets and encrypts them in 128-bit blocks using a massive 256-bit key. Basically, it wraps your sensitive postcards into an outer packet addressed only to the VPN server. So, to your internet service provider, your traffic suddenly goes from clear, readable text to just a massive stream of randomized, encrypted gibberish. And the crucial point here is that this math is strong, like really strong. It's the global standard utilized by militaries, banks, and governments worldwide. For all intents and purposes, it is considered entirely impenetrable to brute force attacks by modern computers. But AES-256 isn't the only option out there. We also have ChaCha20. While AES works in chunks or blocks, ChaCha20 is a modern stream cipher that encrypts data bit by bit. If AES is a heavy, impenetrable military tank, ChaCha20 is more like a high-speed, lightweight armored car. It requires significantly less processing power, which makes it exceptionally fast and the absolute favored choice for mobile devices. It saves your phone's battery life without sacrificing an ounce of security. So, Phase 4, Tamper-Proof Seals. We've got our encrypted vaults speeding down the public highway, totally unreadable. But we're not quite done yet. See, a really sophisticated attacker who can't read your data might still try to cause chaos by just flipping random bits of the encrypted stream, right? Just trying to corrupt the connection. To stop this dead in its tracks, we use cryptographic hashing. A hash function takes data of literally any size and produces a fixed size string of characters. You can think of it acting exactly like a tamper-evident wax seal on those vault doors. Before transmitting anything, the sender calculates a unique code, usually using an HMAC paired with a really strong algorithm like SHA-256. This code gets attached to the packet. And the brilliant part is this avalanche effect. If a hacker tries to alter even a single tiny piece of your data, the resulting hash changes completely, like night and day. The receiver independently calculates the code when it arrives, and if it doesn't match perfectly, it means the seal shatters, and the packet is instantly automatically discarded. Okay, finally, let's look at the modern VPN blueprint to bring it all together. These 4 phases we just explored, authentication, key exchange, encryption, and hashing, are bundled into what we call protocols. You've got the highly configurable OpenVPN, which has been the legacy gold standard for years, but honestly, it utilizes a massive codebase that can make it slightly slower. Then you have IPsec, which is fantastic for fast reconnects on your mobile phone. And finally, you have WireGuard, the incredibly fast, modern, state-of-the-art protocol that strictly dictates the use of super efficient algorithms like ChaCha20. And WireGuard is considered the absolute state-of-the-art for a very specific, almost surprising reason. It operates on roughly 4,000 lines of code. Now, when you compare that to the millions of lines of code in older legacy protocols, you instantly realize why it's such a game changer. It completely strips away the bloat. This makes the mathematical tunnel incredibly fast, highly efficient, and so much easier for security professionals to actually audit and secure. Ultimately, what we've seen today is that a VPN isn't just one singular tool. It's a beautifully layered, orchestrated suite of mathematical algorithms. These cascading, cryptographic phases successfully transform the hostile, exposed public internet into a highly secure, private conduit for your digital life. Which leaves us with one critical question to end on. Knowing exactly how vulnerable that public highway really is, and seeing the elegant math available to protect it, are you still sending your digital postcards out into the open?